Natural gas pipelines provide a safe, silent, and environmentally friendly way of transporting vital energy to millions of Australian households and industries. Natural gas, the cleanest burning fossil fuel, provides an efficient, cost-effective, and more environmentally acceptable alternative to other fuel sources. Compared to other methods of transporting large quantities of materials, pipelines are by far the safest means available. AGL, Australia's leading transporter of natural gas, is gradually extending its pipeline network to meet the ever-increasing demand for gas-fueled energy. From inception, a new pipeline is meticulously planned to ensure minimal disturbance to community interests and the environment, reflecting the company's commitment to this land and its people. Initial route selection involves the intensive scrutiny of maps and aerial photographs to reveal the contours of the land and pinpoint any environmentally or culturally sensitive features or geologically difficult terrain which would make construction unacceptable. Following a complete aerial survey, the entire length of the proposed pipeline route is then surveyed on foot by experienced personnel and environmental scientists who thoroughly research the flora and fauna of the area to ensure that the impact of construction is minimized.
Busy river now. Yeah.
Extensive liaison is then undertaken with all landholders, pastoralists, community and indigenous groups, as well as local, state and federal authorities, whose interests and concerns are all principal considerations in the final selection of the pipeline route. The landholders, some with a history of 4 or 5 generations of passionate involvement with the land, need reassurance that properties and stock will receive full consideration. Archaeologists are brought in to work closely with local indigenous groups to evaluate the significance and ensure the proper management of sensitive cultural and heritage sites along the length of the pipeline. Protected areas are clearly marked with flagging in accordance with AGL's Cultural Heritage Management Plan. Once the surveyors have pegged the exact alignment of the pipeline route and marked all areas to be preserved, construction can begin. The pipeline right-of-way is cleared and graded by bulldozers and graders to provide a clear passageway for the construction crew. This operation is carefully monitored by designated representatives of the local indigenous groups to ensure that previously marked cultural sites and environmentally sensitive areas are avoided. The excavated topsoil is piled alongside the trench line to be used later for restoring the landscape after construction is completed. High-grade steel pipe, manufactured to AGL's exacting pipe specifications, is protected with an anti-corrosive coating, then transported by rail or truck to the right-of-way. Efficient construction crews then string the pipes along the right-of-way, leaving gaps at intervals between the strings to allow for stock crossing and vehicle access. Highly experienced welding crews drawn from Australia's leading pipeline construction companies operate with professional precision, joining each individual section of pipe into one long, continuous string. As part of AGL's stringent quality control standards, welded joints are then X-rayed by a remote-controlled X-ray crawler, which travels through the pipe to radiograph the joint. Following inspection and approval of each X-ray, the surface of the welded joint is grit blasted and coated, and either wrapped with layers of tough waterproof tape or heat shrink sleeves to protect against corrosion. Trenching operations vary according to the demands of the terrain. In soft soil, bucket wheel trenchers are used to excavate long sections of trench to a minimum safe depth, in accordance with the Standards Association of Australia Pipeline Code. In hard rock sections, hydraulic hammers, blasting, rock saws or chain trenchers are usually able to carve a trench through the tough terrain. In rocky areas, sifted soil is used to provide a soft padding as protection for the pipe coating. Following a final check of the protective surface coating, the long, continuous pipe string is lifted like a length of hose and carefully lowered into the trench. Bulldozers and graders finalise the restoration process, reinstating the right-of-way to its original profile. Environmental restoration of the right-of-way includes the seeding of the resurfaced area with carefully selected native grasses and vegetation, so that the pipeline seemingly vanishes under an expertly restored natural landscape. Special crossings along the pipeline route, such as roads and railway lines, are negotiated by boring under the obstructions, while purpose-built trenching equipment and concrete-coated pipe strings allow the pipeline to pass through waterlogged ground and river crossings. As each section of pipeline is completed, it is filled with water and hydrostatically pressurized and tested as a final quality control check on the efficiency and integrity of the pipeline. Following dewatering and drying, the pipeline is ready for commissioning. Gas is pumped from a main supply terminal to a local meter station, where it is then distributed to various users, providing a clean, cost-effective and reliable supply of natural energy to local power stations, industries and residential communities. A tribute to environmental initiative, AGL's Invisible Pipeline is a success story of today, designed to meet the challenges of tomorrow, when natural gas will continue to play a leading role in Australia's development throughout the 21st century.